Alright, Pirates, we're back with another video, doing another Union Arena video. This time we'll be talking about Bandai Namco Cardfest that happened in Orlando. Today I have with me my boy Izzy.
Yo, what's up?
He was actually able to go and experience the very first Union Arena official tournament. Here we have the Eggman list popped up. Shout out to Eggman, always doing the players' work for posting this information and being able to share it with us. And we'll just be going
Yep,
over
yep.
like the top, I guess, 8 decks. I wanted to talk to Izzy about like his experience, his matchups, and just things that could have gone differently, or why certain decks probably topped and why other decks probably didn't top. So I wanted to start out with asking you a question, Izzy. What were
hmm
your matchups, if you can remember?
Um, well, I went 6-2, and so I had a few matchups. It was pretty diverse meta, honestly. Like I believe I had like three blue JJK, two bleach, one yellow bleach, or sorry, two purple bleach, right?
Uh-huh.
Like with different variants. Like one of them would focus on Ichigo, the other would be Akuya, and then you would have I had a yellow bleach, which was pretty interesting. I actually lost to yellow bleach, but
Oh,
it's it was more based on like the last swing that decided the game. But and then I also played against. Surprisingly, I played against Toto. Oh, and sorry, the deck that I was playing was Green Lancelot,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I actually played against like two Green Lancelots myself.
You played
And
against
then
two Green Lancelots?
yeah, I played against two Green Lancelots.
Oh, Izzy's a professional.
Yep,
That's
yep, yep.
why.
Yeah. And I completely dodged the Gawain matchup, the purple code ES matchup.
mm.
Yeah, I didn't see any.
Um,
Which kind of it almost kind of reflects like the ratios of the top 16.
right. That's what I was about to get into. Um, Off camera, we were talking about. Well, I specifically said that I'm surprised there wasn't so much code presence. Even in the top 8, like there's only what 6 code Geass decks. But
Yeah.
Izzy had brought up that because this was in January, like literally a week after Christmas, or 2 weeks after the release of Code Geass. um,
Yeah.
it was just probably hard for everyone to get allocated. They couldn't get their hands on product, and the we had a tournament. We had an Eggman tournament a week or two before Bandai Card Fest, and that probably affected the prices too. So it made it harder for people to get their
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah, and it
Um,
was also like the season of rare battles, so most
yeah,
people were trying
so
to play rare battles.
yeah, there was so much going on. Like, you had 4 different rare battles like weekly. You had like other things like on top of that. It was Christmas, so people were probably spending money on Christmas gifts and whatnot. Um, and
Yeah,
people
exactly.
who wanted to invest in a new IP probably already had their like Hunter deck or their Bleach deck or even their JJK deck. Like they were just like, oh, like
Yeah.
it's probably easier if I just go with what I have already instead of a new IP.
Yeah, and I
So
mean that's another thing too is so blue JJK got a starter deck
oh
and purple code ES didn't get their starter deck in, the US.
yeah, I think we brought that up in another video, or at least I know that's a common thing in the community right now. Whenever a code was announced, for
Yep.
those who don't know, in Japan it did get a starter deck, but in the US it was just a booster box. But it was just I think it's a 4 or 6 card difference, but still I think that would have helped a lot with people building Code
Yeah.
Geass.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it was really cool to finally get an official tournament. Um, how was it organized? Did you feel it like decently organized or what?
Yeah, I think in terms of the actual tournament experience, it was ran pretty well. Like the rounds would go by really fast. Like we finished before every other card game there, and there's like no like belligerent, judge calls. Nobody was like arguing or anything about
Oh
anything.
yeah.
'But I mean, the game is in its infancy, so there's not too many interactions I would, call for a judge to have
Right.
to work out.
So 256 players cap each day with 8 rounds of Swiss. That was crazy. It looks like for the top 8 for Saturday, first place was Blue JJK, which was the Nanami variant. Second place was also Blue JJK, but Sukuna variant. Third place was the Purple Code Geass, and fourth place was Green Kurapika, which is nice to see. Fifth was another Blue JJK Nanami. Sixth was Blue JJK Nanami. Seventh was a Green Lancelot Code Geass, which is nice to see. And then eighth place was Blue JJK Nanami. Just seeing those numbers alone, it looks like not like obviously Blue JJK, as you can see by the pie chart, was really prevalent,
Yeah,
and the Nanami variant seems to be very popular among people, I guess. Oh, see
yeah,
more bleach over here. Sunday
yeah. That was
top
a decent
eight
amount of
was
bleach.
first place was Purple Bleach, which is Renji Rush. That did
Mm.
I am very surprised that Renji Rush is still prevalent in this meta, but
Uh,
like we mentioned earlier, Bleach has been here since the beginning, so it's been allocated enough to everyone to like pick it up. It's not as expensive right now.
yeah,
Um, and like the majority of like the community probably has this over even JJK or Code. So
yeah, and he probably has like a lot of matchup experience with different decks.
yeah, so that's a good thing for him. Second was JJK Blue JJK Sukuna. Third was Lancelot Code Geass.
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
gotta get that list, bro.
Yeah.
The fourth place was Purple Code Geass. Fifth was Blue JJK Sukuna. Sixth was Green Lancelot Code Geass. Oh. Seventh was
Yeah.
Blue JJK Nanami. Eighth was Yellow JJK Gojo. That's the one
It's
right here.
very surprising.
Oh, that's cool. And then just for funsies, ninth place was Purple Bleach Renji Rush. Oh, that's ironic. The ninth and the first. um,
Yep.
and for those who saw the video or haven't seen, they did do like the top, like the first place winners from each day. They faced off in the championship. It was the Blue Nanami versus Purple Bleach, Renji Rush, and Blue JJK won overall. It was the Nanami
Yeah.
variant. Um,
Yeah, that was an insane game.
it really was. Early on, a nice back and forth between them. But what
Uh,
really like decided it was probably the two special triggers that the Blue Nanami player got off of life, and the
yeah.
fact that um, I, f- I feel like Purple Bleach didn't get to see um, his pieces, or at least in his energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see him using the 5 energy Ichigo that much. Like he wasn't able to continuously clear the board like how
Yeah.
I see some
Um.
some like purple players do.
Right, and that Blue Nanami player got I saw three of his double energy UGs. Like I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah. I
But
think also
other,
what the difference was like there's also the deck philosophy too. Like the Renji Rush plays the 1 energy Orihime, which bounces a card, while like Blue JK they use the 2 energy. Like if
Gojo.
it's active, it has 2 energy. Yeah, yeah, the Gojo.
Yeah,
So yeah, it made the difference between like the early aggression.
for sure. And going back on that, well, I recently watched. I watched the fourth place Saturday winner, Hunter x Hunter Kurapika. If y'all haven't watched it, definitely go watch it. I'll probably link it in the description of our video. Um, and Izzy brought this up um, as well.
Yeah,
Whenever you use your bouncing energy producers, you're losing momentum and you're losing a body. Like you're basically going one turn back. Whereas if you play like the Gojo or the Melody, you're putting a body and you're still producing energy, so it's all good. Like for the
Yeah.
Gojo, it's still you're producing two energy and you have a body on board. With the Melody, you're still producing one more energy, and it's either a blocker or a early swinger. Like it was insightful to hear that.
Yeah,
Be-
exactly.
because I remember early on, like when I played Bleach, and I still kind of do it with like other decks. I always thought it was such a cool move, like playing the Ishida, um, drawing one, ditching one, and then playing the Orihime, bouncing the Ishida, and being like, "Aha! I'm at two energy." And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but like, did you really gain anything out of that? Like, you could have just played another body and moved the Ishida forward or something like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the only thing I could probably argue about it, like, which I'm in favor of not using them, but I would say like I play Lancelot, right? So I need 8 energy.
Hmm.
So I run like two of those to just kind of clear the energy line for all of my 2 energy generators. And there's also the fact that if you're running like very low zero cost, it also kind of like stops you from breaking in a way because you're like recycling that first zero cost that you had in your hand.
Mm.
But it's still not like the best for momentum, like you said.
Yeah, especially in this game, like we've said this a lot before. The West is just very aggressive. So whoever gets those initial like one or two hits off of like their zeros or their ones, that could really determine the game. And if your opponent falls under pressure just because of those two hits, like it can break their energy. Like it could force them to mess up their energy and move things up when they didn't need to move things up. Like when their game plan wasn't to move up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it just depends. It also depends on the player too. I think, because I'm a big fan of like movies. And if you've ever watched Never Break Down, there's this famous line where it's like, when you get hit, your mind does one of two things. It's either stay and fight or run. And I guess in this situation, it's like when you get hit with that early aggression, it's like, okay, should I keep going on my plan to build up my
yeah,
energy and start dropping my bodies, like my raid bodies, or should I follow suit and move up my energy, possibly disrupting my plan, but at least I'll be able to contest what they're doing.
no, yeah, I agree.
It's just crazy. But yeah, that's just how it is, I guess, in this game. But for now, like we'll once we get like into the middle of this year, we'll probably that will probably change just because of the decks coming out and more experience.
Yeah,
That being said, you want to check out this blue Nanami list, see if there's anything crazy about it. Let me know if you can see it. Is it popping up?
Nanami list.
Mm.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, you can already see from like the outset the fact that he runs 13 zero cost, I believe. Wait, hold on. Let's see.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, he runs 13 zero cost, which is kind of like what we were talking about before, where it's the difference between wanting to get that early aggression. Because the more zero cost you have in your hand, the more you're able to just push up like if you're first, you place down a zero cost, and then once you go second, the only way you can really push up that zero cost is if you have another zero cost in hand. He's kind of maximizing those chances,
Yeah,
and and he still has the benefit of the triggers on the cards, like the Takuma. That's basically what yeah, most Blue JK players use is the Takuma for draw a card and stuff like that.
yeah, and it's a 2K, whereas most zeros are 15.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
He doesn't have
and
any
then
ones.
yeah, I think that this is like a pretty standard list in
Yeah.
terms of the rest. Like you're running the Makis,
Hmm.
you're running. I mean the Satoru Gojo, like I said, it's like a deck philosophy type of thing. Like if you want to play it or not.
For sure.
The like I think we were talking about it off camera, but the prevalence of the meta goes into like having a lot of triggers in the deck and then being able to push out as fast as you can.
Yeah.
But what I noticed is there's not a lot of like Toshiro decks. It's kind of gone on the wayside. Like if you saw in the early Eggman tournaments, you would see like a lot of Toshiro. Like some of them were topping top eight,
Oh yeah,
maybe
like
even winning the
various.
tournaments.
Yeah. Let me see. I think I can go to like another like his earlier events. If we can pull up. Yeah, see, look, Toshio right there. This was before a big chunk of the pie, a quarter of the pie. Like he was always popping up for sure. And in the last three events, other than the Code Geass release event in Orlando, there was always a Toshio deck that was topping. All these ads. Yeah. Written by Hayden. That's his name. That's Eggman's name. I'm using his government name. Yeah, see, eighth place, Toshiro. And then, what is it?
Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
My bad. The eight, like the last three events prior to, or like before Code Geass, there was always a Toshiro, like in the chunk of the
Yeah,
pie. Um, Green
yeah, for
Hunter.
like the early meta.
Yeah, so that's nice. And me too. Like, every time I played against anyone at a tournament early, but like before Code, I would always be like when building a deck, I would be like, I need solid two energy producers, not when active produce an energy, because I was always scared of Toshiro messing up my energy and being like, dang, like I can't do anything because I'm at one less energy. For example, like purple bleach. I think it's the not the Unohana. It's the
The Ukitake, I think.
Okitake. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When active produce an energy, and I was just like, I would rely on him a lot. But it was like if he's rested, like it would happen at the worst times. They would raid with Toshiro and rest him, and then like even out of life, like I would get like a four cost Ichigo, and I couldn't raid because technically I'm at three energy, and it's like fuck.
Yeah.
Which was wild.
Mhm. And
Um, I'll go for it. Go for it. But if you can hear me, what were you gonna say?
well, I was mainly saying, like right now the meta is very much aggression and being able to cycle through your deck really fast.
Hmm.
And that's the main problem with Toshiro is you can't really cycle through your deck. There's not a lot of things that draw you cards. And I mean, you do have triggers, but it's not as like extensive as like these blue JJK, purple bleach and code purple code yes, where it's like everything has like a trigger basically,
Yeah,
and it's more about like what doesn't have a trigger like helps you out with other things like energy generation and or like card draw.
and do you think that's do you think that's an issue with green specifically? Like not saying that
Yeah,
their
it's
cards
an
don't
issue
have.
with green.
Uh huh.
Th- what really makes a difference is the fact that certain decks have the zero cost, like for example, the Nobara in Blue JJK.
Uh huh.
It's a zero cost one play draw card then place one card from your hand in your sideline, and then it has a trigger draw card. Having the fact that only certain decks have that kind of card, like the Purple Bleach, Blue JJK, and Kurapika, it kind of like skews the consistency of decks. That's probably
Mm.
another reason why Purple Code ES was not as prevalent. It's because when you're playing 8 rounds, it's very relevant to have things that can cycle through your deck and try to find like the main pieces, because you can get stuck on a bunch of zero costs in your hand and you're already in late game.
No, yeah, that'd be wild.
Yeah, exactly.
And you brought that up earlier too. Like, you had said like in a big tournament, I guess, or in any tournament setting, that's more than like 3 or 4 rounds. Like, the most important thing is like you want a deck that's consistent, that you can consistently see what you need. So, that makes a big difference.
Yep, exactly.
Um, so with what with that being said, um, moving forward, what is it next one? This next week, actually, yeah, next week is Demon Slayer release. There should be another Eggman event probably. And I think after
Yeah,
that we should probably see another like either Demon Slayer doing good, or it's fresh off the boat. Like we said, Demon Slayer has a starter deck, so
yeah,
it would probably be easier for people to get into Demon Slayer. And from what me and Izzy have been
yeah,
discussing, Yellow seems to be the go-to, like in terms of like competitive
yeah, for sure.
viability. Yeah, there you go. So that's good. That's
Yeah,
good. I can't wait to see what it does. I'm hoping for more big
and
tournaments.
I think I don't know. The thing with Union Arena is purple is always going to be relevant in some type of way.
Right. um, I think purple has a lot of good going for it. Um, it's my favorite color trigger for sure. It it also has removal, which is something that I like to focus on in any card game. That's why I play black in One Piece.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm drawn to purple. Going forward in this new 2025 year, what are some things that you would like to see from Union?
From Union, I would like to see more diverse and maybe like sanctioned tournaments or just third party tournaments in general. Not even just webcam, but like potentially even like in person tournaments, trying to
Yeah.
get groups. And then also something that I've noticed, like most Bandai card games don't really have that many game modes that people are trying to like popularize. They usually stick to the 1v1 game mode aspect of the card game, which it's really fun and competitive, but some people just kind of want to enjoy the game. So I've noticed in Japan they have like different game modes, like specifically for Union Arena you'll see 2v2s, or you'll see like team battles, kind of like you it's almost like you keep playing. It's like a 3v3.
Uh huh.
It's like a team, and then you keep playing until someone loses, and then at the end, if all three are knocked out, the other team wins, right? That knockout style. And then you also have the like third tier list. Well, I think that it's probably better saved for when there's more sets. But what I mean by third tier is like it's like we ban certain cards. Like I've noticed certain ban lists in Japan, like for those tournaments, is like they ban the 4 energy Sukuna and the 4 energy Yuji, stuff like that.
Oh,
And then
interesting.
you're like forced to play like the secondary archetype and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Makes Yeah. Yeah,
I
it makes the game more interesting that way.
I would definitely want to try that. We could probably try that here once more sets come out, especially the two v
Yeah.
twos. That sounds cool. I think One Piece does that sometimes with their buddy battles, but very little people are interested in like buddy battles, which is so sad. Um, I know we've tried 3v3s
Yeah.
for One Piece over here, and it's done pretty well. Um, so maybe
Yeah.
we could try that out later on. Um,
And just one more thing about so going back to the tournament. Another thing that I would like Panda to do is to give us better pricing for sure. Because
yes,
yeah, because you're telling
bro.
me a 256 player tournament. Well, I think at the end it was like 210 or something. But like like from my personal experience, I got 26, and
Hmm.
so top 32, all they got was two extra packs, like nothing else. I didn't.
Oh,
Yeah, and then it's kind of like even though like so I went there with people that played Digimon, and in contrast, well, although it was their nationals, they were getting like multiple like of their event packs, and they would get certain like champion cards if they reached a certain like top 64 or whatever, and
yeah.
like they were getting value out of those cards compared to event packs. It's like I can go to any rare battle and I would get an event pack.
Yeah, I think going forward, I hope they provide more pricing too, especially for like if you're going out of state, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You want to reap the reward. You want to come back and be like, yo, I got 26th place. I got this exclusive tournament card. It's like, oh hell
yeah,
yeah, that's what's
exactly.
up. Um, and then
Would it have been really that hard to just I don't know stamp like a card that has like Bandai Cardfest on it? Like I know we got the APs, but the APs are like the Bleach AP, but that was just participation pricing. Like there's no like top 64 gets I don't know this stamped UG or whatever like
yeah,
a
like
ultimate art.
how cool would that have been? Like if like let's say top 32 get I like a regular rare battle set, like of all the rare battle cards, and then like top I guess 18 get like stamped rare battles, like it says Bandai Cardfest on them instead of just like nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That would have been
yeah,
cool.
because top eight was getting like the rare battles, but they didn't. They were literally the same. There's no like different stamp that said, "Oh, you got this at Bandai Card Fest." There's nothing like that.
Yeah, they should have done some, they could have just came out with a new AP, like you said, like a
Yeah,
Union Arena AP at Bandai Cardfest. Like with all the IPs, and it just says Bandai Cardfest. That would have been
yeah,
cool.
definitely.
They gotta hire us, Izzy. That's what they gotta do. They
Yeah,
gotta,
yeah, that's what it seems like they need to do. They also need to hire different designers for their playmats too,
yeah.
because they
What, you didn't like that
basically
cool
copy and
blade?
pasted the poster they have, and they just put champion on it.
You hear that, Bandai? If you're watching this video, because I know y'all are, because y'all love us so much, hire me and Izzy, bro. We got the ideas. We got the ideas.
Yeah,
um, but that wraps it up for now. We'll definitely remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notifications for more videos. And let us know down below in the comments, what are some things that y'all want to see in this new year, coming for Union Arena? A diverse format, more game modes, better pricing. Let us know. You have anything else to say, Izzy?
no, I'm glad to see that when I went there, there was a lot of people that were excited to play Union Arena, and there was just a big community compared to like what we see in local sometimes, where it
Oh
feels
yeah,
like yeah, it's not
it's
as
nice
many
to see
people.
that the game is thriving nationally.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, and I hope it just keeps growing, especially with all these IPs they just announced.
Yeah,
Is there an IP that they announced that you're excited for?
yeah. Well, specifically like Full Metal Alchemist and Attack on Titan,
Yes,
like
sir.
very very popular animes, and
Yeah, I'm
yeah, those are gonna
excited.
be very hype.
I'm excited for Full Metal, bro. Full Metal. For those who don't know, Full Metal Alchemist and One Punch Man are world premiere sets. Like, most of the sets that we have either came from Japan at some point, or we got them
Hmm.
they got it like a year or two ago or whatever. But these
Yeah,
two sets specifically were created originally and are being released at the same time. So their viability in the meta could definitely change a lot how things are.
Exactly.
But yeah, check us out next time. Keep us posted. Peace.
See ya.